Thank you for tuning in this afternoon and watching VPT Cooks Chocolate. We've got a great guest today, Chef John Delpha of the Belle Tikal. John, what are you going to cook for us today?
We're going to do a dark chocolate creme brulee.
That is one of my favorite dishes. Now, creme brulee, super classic dishes, but for some people out there who might not know what creme brulee is, what's the concept of it?
It's a custard that's baked. It's a nice, typically the traditional one is a vanilla custard, but for the holidays we like to amp it up a little bit with some chocolate.
For sure, and it's got a crust on it, right?
Yeah, we take the sugar. The brulee means to burn,
Yep.
And what that is burnt sugar.
Cool.
So
cool.
we're going to put a little sugar on top of that and do some pyrotechnics.
Sounds good. We like pyrotechnics here at VPT. So show us, we got something rolling right here, right?
Yeah, we started a little ahead of time. What we have here is 8 ounces of chocolate and 2 cups of heavy cream.
Okay, what kind of chocolate do you like to use?
I typically stick with Callebaut or Scharffenberger or Valrhona.
Semi-sweet, bitter, dark?
This is dark bittersweet, 70% chocolate.
Great, because you can always add sugar to it. I mean, people see those varieties out there, but you can always increase the sugar to whatever you like.
Correct.
Okay.
And what I did with this batch, I like it to make it a little fudgier for the holidays. I've used heavy cream, but you can interchange milk with that.
Come on, we cook for a living. Never switch out heavy cream for milk.
Just trying to make it lighter friendly.
No, we don't. It's the holidays. You're supposed to put on the pounds.
So while that melts, what we'll do is we'll take 5 egg yolks. We'll take that and just separate the yolk right out of the shell.
Okay.
So there's 5 egg yolks. I get my eggs from Shadow Cross Farms, Dick Paquette, there in Colchester.
Beautiful, beautiful products.
We have a pinch of salt and 2 tablespoons of sugar.
Great, and I mean, some people don't put salt into things for desserts, but it's key. I mean, it brings out the flavor of everything.
Salt amplifies flavor, especially in chocolate.
Especially in chocolate.
I like to take and make a nice hot chocolate and sprinkle a little Malden sea salt over the top of it.
Have you had the smoked sea salt?
Yeah, I have some of that Malden smoked sea salt too.
And you act, I mean, this is kind of off the subject, but you smoke a lot of meat. I mean, you're like a barbecue guru.
Yeah, I'm a member of a competition barbecue team called IQ based out of Massachusetts.
Yeah.
And in October, we won the Jack Daniel's World Barbecue Championship.
That's what I'm talking about. And you guys are doing a barbecue series at the restaurant right now.
Yeah, every Tuesday nights in honor of the victory at the Jack Daniel's, we do BBQ Tuesday at the Belle Tikal.
And it's incredible. I mean, sometimes it's barbecue pork, ribs, whatever it is, but it's always something where you're mixing it up.
Absolutely.
And keep people coming back. I mean, that's good quality barbecue, hard to find in Vermont.
This week, I think I'm going to do chicken and ribs.
Nice,
just to mix it up a little more. So we just we whip up those yolks and that sugar just to a little bit of a ribbony stage.
Okay.
And then what we want to do is temper that chocolate into the egg. So we'll do that in thirds if you don't mind helping me out.
Not a
so we'll go about a third. And we do that so we don't scramble the yolks. So they don't curdle. And I think you're safe to go ahead. All right, great. And just a little more. Perfect. So we'll take that mixture. I could take that from you.
Great.
And we'll take that. We'll cool it down in the refrigerator for, I don't know, a couple hours. And bring out some cooled stuff.
The cooled stuff. And, I mean, when you did the yolks, you didn't do the whites. Why is that?
The whites would coagulate a little. If you were making a souffle, you'd add the whites too.
Right, because it makes it fluffy.
It rises a lot more.
Right.
This is going to stay settled and it's going to be a nice, beautiful, no holes in it custard.
Right, and that egg yolk gives it that rich, velvety feel. Yeah,
yep. All the richness. So we've got a couple of ramekins that you can find just about anywhere.
I mean, everywhere from like TJ Maxx to Kitchen and Bath, everywhere.
Yeah, the kitchen store on Church Street there. Yep. So we'll just fill those up about 3/4 of the way.
Okay.
And while I do that, what we're going to do in order to protect this custard from the direct heat inside the oven, we're going to add a little bit of our water to go about halfway up the ramekin.
Okay.
To protect the custard. So you can go ahead and add that if you don't mind.
Yeah, no worries. And you got them resting on a towel. Why is that?
That's to protect the bottom and to help them from stop moving around. But that'll be an insulating factor for the bottom of the, because typically the water wouldn't get underneath.
Right.
The ramekin.
Right.
You know?
No, it's a smart way to do it.
And that's just a kitchen towel or napkin that you might have at home.
And that water, when you put it in there, it's got to be hot, right?
I'd say it should stay at the temperature that clearly not the oven temperature. We've preheated our oven to 325.
Right.
But we don't want the water to have to heat up in advance of the chocolate. So if we have it already hot, the chocolate's going to have a nice even temperature through it. It should be a beautiful even consistency when it comes out of the oven.
For sure.
Another little trick that I have with this is, you see these little bubbles on top of the creme brulee?
This is the fire part.
This is the first part of the fire part. So if we go ahead and just kind of warm that up, that'll get rid of those bubbles.
Oh, cool. And, that's a really good way to do it.
It provides a much nicer finished texture when you're...
And for those of you who have like those really fancy torches, everybody in the business has, they just go to the hardware store and get the torches.
That's it.
It makes it way easier.
They sell these butane torches in the kitchen store for $50. You go to Ace Hardware and get that one for $20. You're all set.
And at your house, that might last you a couple years.
And we're just going to take this and put it in a preheated 325-degree oven.
How long does it usually take?
About 25 minutes.
Okay.
So we're going to pull them out when they're a little jiggly.
From our magic oven.
The magic oven. Here they are. Already cooked.
Great.
That's really hot. So it'd be a little jiggly in the center, okay? And then when you put it in the refrigerator, it's going to set up really, really well.
Okay.
So you take those, put them aside, set them in your refrigerator. You go to your magic refrigerator.
Wow.
And here they are.
Perfect.
So nice, beautiful custard. There's no skin layer on top.
No, not at all.
You can put a layer of foil over the top of that also if you'd like to help them steam it. Just poke a couple holes on top of it.
Great.
If you're worried about having a good texture on top of it.
So let's light this thing up.
Yeah, we're going to light it up. So here we go with just regular granulated sugar. And you could use sugar in the raw if you'd like. We'll just shake it around. Tap out the excess and put a little extra in the middle so we get a nice little...
and I mean, for people who look at this dessert, you can really see how easy it is to do. I mean, this is a dessert where I do this in a toaster oven at home.
Yeah, you just use the broil feature in the toaster oven. More pyrotechnics, directly right down on top of the sugar. You can see it's already starting to caramelize.
Excellent.
You wouldn't do that with one of those little butane torches.
No, it'd probably take you about 30 minutes.
Stop it right there. And remember, the word brûlée is to burn, so you want to go over caramelized with this. I just, in order to present it, I pretty much just take a little plate out. I like to serve creme brulee with a cookie or a little biscotti. It gives it a little contrast.
No kidding.
And what I've done for the holiday season is to make a little cranberry, pomegranate, and port jelly to go on top of the toast.
I'm getting excited.
And that also helps to cut the acidity in the fruit. Also helps to cut through the richness in the chocolate.
Yeah, that fat in the chocolate, that makes a lot of sense.
So we'll go to the plate with that. And we can just drop a little mint leaf on top of it for a little extra color.
Perfect. And for people who haven't been to the Belle Tikal, you've been open a short amount of time, right?
Yeah, we opened in June.
But, I mean, food's fantastic, service is great, and you're at a location where it's really accessible for people in Burlington all over.
Probably one of the most accessible locations, Essex, 5 Corners.
Yeah, and it's worth it. If you haven't been there, get out there. Great local food, great locals, and Tuesdays, barbecue, you can't go wrong.
BBQ Tuesdays at the
Do we
Belle
get to
Tikal.
eat this up?
You sure do.
Excellent.
Thank you very much, Sean.
It's tasty. It's nice, bittersweet chocolate. Good sweet finish on the top, and I gotta have the cookie too.
Try it with the cookie.
That's gonna make everything better. Delicious. John, thank you for coming out to the show.
Thank you.
We're gonna send it back to the pledge site. For people who haven't called in yet, 1-800-639-8303. VPT really needs your pledge. John, great to see you today. Thank you very much.
Thanks again, Sean.